It's heating up to 160, and then we'll begin the cleaning process, the leveling process, and then the print itself. I might have to fly them this summer.
Oh geez, good luck.
But here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll tell the airline if they ask for somebody to give up their seat. I will push that button because they will schedule me to fly out, and if it has to be on a different airline, I just will say, "Let me have that voucher."
Mm-hmm.
That's dirt cheap. $300 to fly. Oh wait, no.
Kind of loving the little poke the corners bit it's doing.
That's the bed leveling process.
Hmm.
It uses math to basically triangulate where everything is. Now we begin the full process of printing, heating up to 205 degrees centigrade, and then off we go to the races. There we go. Right now it's only printing the brim, which is just a fancy word for printing an outline of where everything will be. I believe I'm going to look at this right here. Yep. The first piece. What's really interesting about the machine is that this is the first time I've heard the machine actually make those certain sound, the just the sounds of when it was printing the exterior part.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the stuff we've printed has been circular or square. We haven't had any hexagonal or unusual shapes, so it's like it's a different song every single time you print with the printer.
Yeah, shoot.
It'll probably print the 3 pieces and then start working on the support underneath.
Yeah, because those are the bottommost pieces.
And I'll show you. I don't need to throw this away. This is a support piece that I had to print for this bottom piece of this Pokeball right here.
Oh,
It
so
didn't
then
come off. It didn't come off cleanly, but it came off nice enough that it was able to. I was able to separate it and all that too. So with a little bit of sanding here.
Yeah, then it should be good.
And once I'm able to get to the final piece to print, we'll have a functioning, working Pokeball, which is pretty awesome.
I was going to say, what are you going to use for the hinge pin? Just a little...
Actually, I've already got it in here. You can't see it because it's a piece of clear filament.
There you go, yeah.
And this button right here, I need to just go find a clicking ballpoint pin and salvage and extract the spring in there to make the pin work, because the top has an actual lip piece that it builds on.
Nice.
I was debating whether to printing the top part with structure, and I think I am going to. I was like, do I really want to? But it's like, yeah, I probably should. But it's a pretty awesome. It's a pretty awesome machine to get to work with, and we have another one on the way.
Yeah, that's what Richard was telling me. There's
The
a
Ultimaker.
yeah, a really big, like 5K machine.
Once that one gets in, we'll be able to do dual color printing, which I don't know if it'll be necessary. If that's necessarily what we'll do.
How come the side fan doesn't go?
The side fan isn't going right now because, well, that's just a part of the process. It'll start going once we start climbing,
Oh, okay.
and then it'll be lasting at 100%. Because this plate is also heated as well too, it doesn't need to necessarily cool that down. It'll be actually lighting itself. So you're trying to cool something that's already being heated at the bottom of the and all that. That's why it gets this nice smooth bottom texture and all that. Let's see. See how on this piece it's nice and smooth here on the bottom?
Yeah.
That's what it actually accomplishes with the heated plate. And the filament we're using right now is a PLA plastic. It's not a ABS, which most people are familiar with using with 3D printers. But this has actually been a pretty nice material to work with. This whole Pokeball, all the pieces that you see there have actually been used with the PLA. We are currently waiting for our order to be filled for some more of the PLA filament, but also for some next gen color fab, which is a different. What was it? Can't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head. It's similar to ABS. This is actually a piece of it right here. We only have so much because I've used all of it, but I love the sound of this machine. It's so nice. Aha, I knew it. This is it. Ultimaker PVA. This is what we'll probably use for our dual one. take a look at this.
Holes in water, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. This will definitely be one of them that this is definitely going to be one of the materials that we get. Just because then we can start printing things without having to waste our main material that we need.
Mm-hmm.
And with this one, with the Ultimaker, I'm excited with it. The bed is heated, but instead of the bed moving on the y-axis, it just stays in one position, and the bed lowers down.
Mm-hmm.
It's the opposite of this. PLA and nylon, so we'll have to use PLA in the future. Use PLA for that, but this is what we have in the future. And this printer here can also get a dual extruder as well.
Mm-hmm.
The printer head itself can be detached. That's what's so nice about this. It's so it's a module build. And if we get the dual extruder, we can do the same thing. There's also another PLA. There's also a PLA. There's also a dissolvable PLA as well too that we can use in the dual extruder to make things. So right now it's making the support structure, which let's see, where did I put it? Oh, I threw it back to the trash. This is what the bottom of it looks like. So this is what it's making right now.
Okay, yeah, the
So-
crosshatch.
Mm-hmm. And once it's built all the way to the top, once it makes it all the way to where the beginning platform begins,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. And then when we're ready to remove it, it'll be a simple snap off, a little bit of sanding to get any extra residual off, and you're off to the races. So yeah. Excuse me for a moment.
Oh yeah, so good.
Yes, sir.
I found something that, because I was doing a little research on just now.
Yes?
Our Ultimaker, first question is our Ultimaker a fulfillment Ultimaker?
I believe it is, yes.
Hey, the next thing that I'm going to suggest that we do is,
Is actually have it arrive.
well, the first filament I want to get is the dissolvable PLA filament that it has. So too, we have a dissolvable one that we just drop in the water.
Okay.
And we can start doing,
Send me some
I'll send you the video.
links.
I'll
Okay,
send you the video.
send me the little link in the video.
Yes.
And the link to the recording. Also,
Yes.
how are we fixed in terms of ABS?
ABS, what do you mean by ABS?
The film, do we have a?
We have 6 boxes of filament for the Ultimaker itself. So when it arrives, we'll get some filament with it, but we also have enough to start working on the production as well too, which means we can start working on the QR project once again. I need to learn how to design it with the looking see how it's possible, how to use dual filament to where there's only one part in one color and another part in another color. I'll have these researchers looking in on that, but once it's done, we can do it. And I believe it's in this cabinet over here. Here we are.
Oh, there's the ABS, yes,
Yes.
okay. Okay. Very good.
We have 6 boxes. So I think we have.
But that arrived?
No, this came in with, you had this way before we had the studio open. Like, this was in the very first round of orders.
Okay, that was, Yeah, because I ordered it was originally supposed to be the Ultimaker coming,
But
and it never got ordered.
yeah,
You know,
it-
there's a
this-
shock.
And that's the current one that we're using.
Hmm? Printing out
How
my
many of those
geometry
do you have?
project.
Six?
We have 6
Yeah.
white, red,
I'm assuming
blue,
different colors,
Whoa.
because that's what I.
Are you allowed to do that?
Black, white,
Yeah,
red, blue,
I
green,
brought it in
red.
after I crafted it up.
All right.
Does it cost
So
much money?
we have- Ultimaker passed up
I don't know yet. I don't
Very
believe so for
good.
school project, but for personal
So
project,
Richard,
yeah. Yes,
Are
sir.
we off to a good start here?
I think so. The head pulled up that bit on the right,
Oh dear.
but
I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
I think that's just some looks like I'm gonna have to do some printer bed maintenance is what it looks like.
Yeah. Looks like we're getting some fraying at the edge there.
Yeah, but that's okay because that's not part of the print. This is the printer head right here. So this is a
Yeah, is
get
that just a
back
mat?
to-
Yeah, it's just support structure.
Yeah, it's the support structure. It's not the actual print.
What is yours? What is it?
It's the hexagonal tessellation that's gonna be basically usable like Legos.
Okay.
What?
Legos, like the blocks, except it's hexagonal instead of quadrilateral.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
It looks nice. It looks. I like the design of it. I just. That happened too. I think I'm gonna have to give that part of the printer bed a nice scrubbing afterwards. Try to get off some stuff because it looks like there's some residuals from other prints that are messing it up. But luckily, it's the support structure, not the actual structure itself.
How
Yeah.
So
long is it gonna take to print it?
it gave me approximation 2 hours and 38 minutes.
Oh, well, then I probably am not gonna be YouTube videoing this whole thing.
Well, what I would like to do, and this is just me personally, is I would like to actually I'm thinking of making a mount
Mhm.
and try to
Oh.
see it putting like a GoPro or something like that up here so we can record the whole process and all that too.
Yeah.
Because it would be a really interesting thing, but.
And then
I'm
just
really
time
excited
lapse
to
it.
see
Okay. See you.
But yeah, no, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to just go ahead and, we're just gonna have to go ahead and get a new bed and all of that already. I mean, we've had this thing for a couple months, but it's already like, yeah, that's gonna probably be, that's probably gonna be what's gonna have to happen soon. Let's see, so far, we're not even at 5% of the entire build yet.
All right.
But the thing about this is that it doesn't say what the percentage is based off of, like, it doesn't, like, it'll be at like 10% or it'll be slow to move the percentage up,
Mhm.
but that's